Hi, I'm Jill Melton, editor of Relish Magazine, and I'm in the kitchen today with Brian Morris.
Hi.
One of our Relish chefs, and we're going to be making some double chocolate mocha meringue kisses that we featured in the February issue.
Yes, they're fantastic, and this is a great use for hard meringue.
Yes, and they're also fat-free.
You know, the main thing about hard meringues is basically the ratio of egg whites to sugar. Just like soft meringues, that's basically what we're dealing with here, is egg whites, sugar, and a couple other things. Today we're actually going to add some flavorings to make it delicious. But the one thing that's typically consistent about a hard meringue is that ratio of sugar to egg whites. And it's typically about 1/4 cup per egg white.
So, backing up a bit, because I imagine that a lot of our viewers have never made meringue cookies before.
Yes.
So this is pretty much the same premise as making a soft meringue that you put on top of a lemon cream pie, but you bake them a lot longer.
We bake them longer, and also it's twice the level of sugar.
Okay.
And that really helps them dry out and become super light.
And get crispy and crunchy.
Yes,
and, yeah.
like a cloud meets a marshmallow.
Well, let's get started.
All right, so cracking egg whites first.
Yep.
So as always, on a flat surface, right? And of course, Jill will give you the 411 as to why you go on a flat surface. So
that you decrease the chance of contamination.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of people are really kind of funny about doing certain things with food with their fingers. Like, you know, I always toss a salad or even mix meatloaf or whatever with your fingers. It's really your best tool. And the same goes with separating an egg, because your fingers are soft.
Right.
And so the chances of breaking the yolk are less. And it feels kind of cool.
Yep, and I can tell you, because this is going through my fingers, that these are room temperature eggs, which is very important.
That's important.
Right. So room temperature eggs are going to be a lot easier to work with, and they're going to hold a lot more air. You'll end up with a much fluffier, lighter meringue. Also, these are fresh eggs, and fresher is better for meringues when it comes to being stable and sort of foolproof. Okay,
so for these meringues, we have cocoa and we have mini chocolate chips.
That's right.
We have a little bit of espresso in there, which makes the mocha, the cream of tartar, salt, and sugar. And you know, the cool thing about these to me is that you can add almost any kind of flavorings that you want. I mean,
absolutely.
You can add brown sugar and make like a toffee one.
Yeah,
incorporate different things. And of course, the only fat that we're putting in here is the mini chips.
That's right.
That's the only fat at all.
And it's really important that you stick with the minis on this. Anything bigger than these little bitty tiny ones are going to get stuck in your piping bag and drive you absolutely insane. So mini chips only. Okay,
so we're going to get started. And what goes in first?
Yeah, so we have our egg whites in the bowl. We're going to add a little bit of salt and our cream of tartar. Now remember, cream of tartar is just a stabilizer. It's an acid, and it's just going to help make this more fail-proof for us. It's kind of like a meringue insurance policy. If you don't have it, don't worry. You can still make your meringues. Or if you have a copper bowl, of course, you can use that instead.
Okay, so we've got foamy whites here.
Yep, nice and foamy, just below soft peak.
Okay.
And so now it's time to start adding our sugar, a little bit at a time, as we build towards stiff peaks. Now with soft meringues, we try to shoot for you know, peaks that aren't quite so stiff, kind of soft peaks. They actually retain more aeration for our meringue topping that way. But for these hard meringues, we're going all the way to stiff peaks.
All right.
All right, let's do it. So that looks great. You know, the ultimate test for this is, you know, can we hold it over Jill's head? The answer is yes. So, you know, we have our stiff peaks. And now it's time to add our flavoring ingredients. So, we're going to add mini chocolate chips. And again, remember, mini is crucial here.
You have to taste test this.
Okay,
sure
we'll taste this. Not poisonous?
No.
Okay, good. Our natural cocoa powder and our instant espresso powder. And we're going to sift those into the Stiff Peaks meringue mix. The espresso powder granules are kind of bigger than the screen, so we just push those through to kind of break them up. That's it. And now we have to fold.
Now folding is basically you don't want to break down your mixture.
Right, we don't want to deflate the egg whites here.
Yeah.
I think that looks great. So now it's time to pipe these onto our sheet tray and actually form our little kisses. Now you could do this with a piping bag. You could do it with a zip top bag, with a lot of different things. So let's grab our sheet tray and a few different options for piping.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, so I'm just going to...
Is this a meringue race, Jill? All right, so Jill is pulling our double cocoa mocha meringue kisses out of the oven. Those look great, Jill.
Yeah.
So these have been baking at 325 degrees, right, for about 45 minutes, or just until they're totally dry.
325.
Totally dry and light. I mean, these weigh nothing when they're done.
Right. And the key is to getting these really, really dry. Like when I'm making a bigger meringue, a lot of times I will bake them for a couple hours and then just turn the oven off.
Oh, and just leave them overnight?
Just leave them in there overnight.
That's a great idea.
Sure, which is the other interesting thing about meringues. You don't want to make them on a rainy day.
And why is that?
Well, because
do tell.
The moisture
so we'll end up with
sticky, and it keeps.
And as we all know, nobody likes a soggy kiss.